Hello and welcome. My name's Angie Holden and I'm the blogger behind The Country Chic Cottage. Today we're going to talk about sublimation beer mugs, and I'm going to make a frosted one and a clear one to show you the differences between those. So you sublimate them the same, however, you might be more pleased with the results from the frosted one than you are with the clear one, depending on your design. So let's take a look first of all at the supplies we're going to use. The supplies you'll need are as follows: heat resistant tape, lint roller, heat resistant gloves. You'll also need some kind of butcher paper or protective paper to go over your sublimation print. Then you'll need your sublimation beer mugs. I'm going to do two different types, both a clear and a frosted version, and I will link to both of these below. They do need to have a sublimation coating on them. So these are sublimation blanks. And then the other thing you will need is a sublimation print. So this is sublimation ink printed on sublimation paper with a sublimation printer. And the dad design that I'm going to use, I'm going to have for free in the description below this video, so you can head there to get this dad design. I'm going to put the same design on both of the beer mugs so you can see what it's going to look like on each of them, and that should help you decide which one of these is right for you. Now, I am going to use a tumbler press for pressing these. If you don't have a tumbler press, you could use a sublimation oven and shrink wrap around them. I will say that I never put glass in my Cricut mug press because I have heard of the Cricut mug press breaking when used with glass blanks. So I would not use these with the Cricut mug press. Something like the PYD Life tumbler press or the HTV Ron Auto tumbler press would be a good alternative. First, you need to clean your sublimation blank well. I'm just using a lint roller over the surface. You could also use rubbing alcohol and a lint-free cloth. And then for each of these, I'm going to use two of the designs, one on the front, one on the back. And you will notice that my sublimation print is mirrored. You do want to mirror your sublimation print when printing. So I sized these to about 2.5 by 2.5 inches. Whatever size you would like them on this beer mug is fine. You could also do more of like a full wrap design if you had like a pattern that you liked. If you chose to do a full wrap design and use a tumbler press, you will need to leave a gap on both sides of the handle. So I just wanted to note that. For these, I'm just going to add them to the front and the back of the beer mug. I like to locate up and down about where my handle is. So you could locate these high or low, but I like them about in the center, about the center of my handle. Then once you have these located, we're just going to tape them into place. 4 pieces of heat resistant tape should be fine, just enough to hold it still and keep it from moving. Then you'll just want to repeat that same process on the back or the other side of your mug. I like to do things like mugs on both sides of the handle. That way, whichever way they pick it up, they still see the design. So I'm going to locate it in about the same place and tape it down. Then I like to cover my sublimation print with a piece of protective paper. So this is a piece of protective paper and it's just cut to size. That way I don't have to use a larger sheet, and I might trim that just a little bit more. So this is only to protect your press. So you just want to make sure that the press is protected from any sublimation ink. And I'm just going to use a couple pieces of tape just to hold that in place long enough for us to press. So I'm going to prepare my other glass beer mug in the same way. I'm going to use this mug and tumbler press, and I'm using 360 degrees Fahrenheit for 120 seconds for my time and temperature. For this one, I'm just going to slide the mug inside, and this one it's better if you put the handle to one side, hit the button, and it closes automatically, counts down, and then when it's done we'll pull it out. Once it's done, it will automatically open up. This handle might be hot, so go ahead and remove it with the heat resistant glove and set it on a heat resistant mat. Then while everything's hot, you can start removing the protective paper as well as the sublimation print. Here's a look at the results. The clear version, I actually put some white paper down inside of there because the frosted version pops way more off of the surface than the clear version does without anything inside of it. So I will say I like the frosted version better. However, it still will appear rather light. So some people try like printing twice on their sublimation paper just to lay down more ink. So if you can play with the settings on this to lay down more ink, you might get a more vibrant result. I personally like the frosted beer mug better than the clear version, but you can see from these just how they'll look. And once this is filled with liquid, you'll be able to see it a little more, but it is a more muted appearance. So there are the two versions of Sublimation beer mugs. So for me, I will choose the frosted one each and every time. I just feel like the designs pop off of the frosted version more. However, you still will get a rather muted design with frosted or clear glass blanks. It is just because there's no white behind it to make the colors really pop off of the surface. You can look up the double printing method, and I have seen people use that on the frosted glass with luck. So you might give that a try if you want your design to pop off a little more. I, however, kind of like the muted design because I feel like it fits with the frosted glass. So the glass is a very like opaque white color, and I feel like that sort of faded look fits with that. So generally for my frosted blanks, I leave it just as it is out of my sublimation printer. Now, clear glass blanks, I don't use those a ton just because you can see through everything. Sublimation ink is translucent. You can see right through it to the clear inside. If I was to remove this white paper inside of here, you can see the design, but not really. I put it on both sides so I can even see through like one side to the design on the other side. So it's just not my favorite look. Clear glass blanks like this Sublimation beer mug are just not my favorite personally. However, I wanted to show you these in this video so you could choose which one is right for you. Perhaps you really love the clear glass, and that is fine. Everyone has their own opinion when it comes to sublimation blanks and their crafting. Now, this dad design is for free in the description below this video, and it's perfect for Father's Day. So if you're looking to make Father's Day sublimation crafts, sublimation beer mugs, or any other project, then grab that file in the description below this video and use it to make your sublimation projects. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions about anything we've covered, drop it in the comments section, ask away. And if you haven't already, head on over to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. We have videos just like this one every single week, and trust me, you don't want to miss any of those. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.